See you. Love you. Somebody give me something.
I'll start general. Just
General?
The first 5 days, how have you seen your guys hit it?
Oh, those guys have been working extremely hard. The leadership of Austin Allen and Travis Vokalek, and now Chris Hickman has followed those guys' lead. Those guys are performing at a high level right now. And really the entire offense is performing at a higher level, special teams and defensively. We have the leadership on our team that we haven't had here in a while, since we've been here as a staff. So those guys are demanding to go out and play hard. If you do something wrong, do it 100 miles an hour, and it's resonating to the rest of the team. So we're excited about that, and it's fueled by Austin Allen and Travis Vokalek. Those guys have stepped up, and Cam Jurgens on the offensive end.
You mentioned Hickman. You see him a little bit re-energized, and now he's settled with you maybe a little bit more?
Yeah. When he first got here, I was the one that was in his home and recruiting him. So he's back to me. He's back home. We're obviously trying to work on putting on a little bit more weight for him, but he's doing a tremendous job. Every single day he's getting better. We're trying to really detail some of his landmarks as far as blocking, but he's been a very pleasant surprise for us, and he's gained confidence of everybody on the team.
And NFL scouts here, right here, focus on the tight ends a little bit. What kind of opportunities do your seniors have this season?
Those guys have opportunities to showcase their abilities. Coach Lubick and Coach Frost has basically kind of stepped up on the offensive end and re-energized the tight ends to design some plays to get those guys the ball more, change a little bit of the reads for the quarterback so it's more of a first read for those guys on certain plays. So they're pumped about it. They're seeing a lot of balls coming their way. Hickman had a 70-yard touchdown down the seam yesterday. Travis and Austin has been catching the ball extremely well, and young Nate Borkature has done a tremendous job for us also, really picking up on things and catching the ball. We keep a drop count every single day. Those guys, we've never had this many catches this quick in a camp, so that kind of tells you where we are with the tight ends, getting those guys the ball.
What are your early impressions of Adrian's camp?
Oh, Adrian's is night and day. As far as his mechanics, his leadership, his confidence, you can see it. I told him yesterday I love where he is, keep his head where it is. He's performing at a high level. He's demanding a lot out of himself and demanding a lot out of his teammates. If Austin Allen jumps up or Travis is up there and he's not up, he's calling for those guys to get up. So that kind of shows you his maturity and where his head is right now. He's playing at the highest level I've ever seen him. So now he's got to continue that. He can't go backward. He got to make sure he continues to strive forward and keep leading this offense and this team.
Is he playing like he did in the spring, or did he go to another level?
He went to another level. Whole nother level. And we're excited about it because that's the Adrian Martinez we've been wanting to see, and he's really at a good spot right here. And everybody across the board of the team knows it, and they're following him. When the team follows your quarterback, you're really going to have a great team. He's playing on a high level.
What's your eagerness to see not just your tight end, but the whole collection of receivers together? I mean, when we were watching today, you're big. You guys are big out there.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we wanted to get bigger in this league. Once we got up here, the American Conference, we can get away with smaller guys. We want to get big. And you can see where we are. We're big at tight end. Even though we're young with some of those young guys, Rollins and Carney, you can see the stature. Those guys are going to be big. But receivers that we have across the board, those guys are really playing well also. You can tell those guys really worked hard this summer when we weren't around. And again, it goes back to Adrian Martinez, Cam Jurgens, Travis, those guys really taking ownership of what we need to do in the offseason. And you could see the difference. We walked out the first day after coming off the field, and that was day one. It looked like practice 7. When that happens, that means your guys put in the work over the summer.
How maybe can you guys get a little bit better at the red zone offensively? What have you guys kind of examined and looked at as to how maybe to improve throwing the ball?
Yeah, down in the red zone, Coach Lubick and myself have really put in a lot of time watching a lot of NFL tape. Obviously, last year with the tight ends, we used them more than we've ever did. We're going to accelerate that a little bit more. There's some packages coming that we are going to introduce probably the end of this week. We have a base scheme, and that base scheme, what we're doing is going to carry us throughout the entire year, and then we're going to have some wrinkles off of it. So when you get down in the red zone, obviously your bigger targets, we got bigger receivers, and we got bigger tight ends. Obviously we want to get those guys the ball more. And the thing about it down in the red zone, everything's closed, so ball placement is important. And that's where Adrian Martinez and the quarterbacks, I tell those tight ends and the receivers, you're always open down there. Quarterback will give you the ball, and you just got to go make a play. From my studying, people are running routes, same routes that they normally run throughout the season, but the windows are tighter in the ball placement, and you got to go get it. You got to outfight those guys for the ball, and that's the mentality we're going to have down there.
How do you feel like the last couple of years have gone that way? I think there's only been 5 or 6 touchdown passes in the last 2 years from the quarterbacks. Are you saying that's kind of on your guys to do better there? Or?
It's really on all of us. Coaching staff, for one, to start. We've pushed up red zone in our installation this year so we can get more work out of it. That's one of the things that we were weak on, and Coach Frost examined the areas. That area was one, short yardage was one. All that's been moved up in our install. Normally we will install that at the back end of camp. We're going to get that in earlier, both of those units, so we can get better, so we got more time to really iron out and detail those so we can be better in that area.
What are all your roles with special teams, and how's it look so far with what you're focused on?
Coach Dawson has been awesome thus far in what he's doing. He's really got those guys energized. He's really harping on details. So our special team unit is doing tremendously. I'm more focused on the kickoff return guys, punt return guys, and then I'm gunners and basically jammers. And then kickoff, I'm working with the interior guys, making sure those guys are really getting down the field, playing at a high tempo and getting off blocks and making plays. So we all as a staff have an area to coach, and Coach Dawson is demanding all coaches, all hands on deck, to coach your position, and if your guys is screwing up, that's on you. So as a staff, he's re-energized the staff on the special teams.
Do you have any early favorites return man-wise, and is there a newcomer who could get in that mix too?
But right now, Cam is a punt returner. Oliver Martin has been a punt returner. Brody Belt's done some good things back there. Kamani Grimes has really showed me, the true freshman, really showed me that he can be a punt return guy down the road. Kickoff return today was the first day we kind of worked that phase of things, so the jury's still out there. But Omar jumped back there and did some things, and Xavier Betts jumped out. It kind of impressed me a little bit. So I got to continue to work those guys back there on the kickoff return phase of things and see where they are. Cam will be back there some, Oliver. Omar surprised me a little bit how smooth he was back there, so he could be one of those guys back there.
Do those guys kind of beg you to get a shot at it?
Yeah, I had a whole line at the end of practice today. Guys came out of nowhere. It was about 30 guys back there. So first day we've done it this camp, and a bunch of guys showed up to audition. Step was even back there. All the running backs came back. So we're just trying to figure out who can do it back there for us. We have a depth chart made, but obviously the first day we're just trying to feel out and who can do it back there.
How much of the kickoff return piece is just decision making? Because that seems like something that, knowing when to go, and especially now with the new rules and the touchback stuff, how much is just knowing when to go or not?
Well, kickoff return is an attitude as far as those guys up front blocking it, and we got to have a better attitude up front, first of all, blocking it up front. And then decision making on the back end is critical. We've talked about a lot of different situations where balls going out of bounds, let it go, balls close on the sideline, grounding it, so you get a penalty. So all those scenarios came up yesterday in our meeting, and as we continue to progress on, decision making, we're going to try to incorporate every single practice on kickoff return, whether it's a squib kick, when do you charge it, and all those different things when you let it go out of bounds. So there's some coaching to go along with that, yes.
Why is Cam Taylor ranked number one? What is it about him as a punt returner that makes him the top guy right now?
Because he catches the ball extremely well. I know he had the hiccup last year against Iowa. He's learned from it. He's first one over there every single time that we're working. We're working it after practice with him a little bit, trying to keep his eyes focused all the way down on the catch. You know, so he's worked extremely hard. But I'm not scared to put Oliver Martin back there.
Really?
Yeah, Brody Belt has done a great job back there, and then Kamadi Grimes has done a great job. And I started working with Omar 2 days ago. That's work in progress right now. But he can do it because he's an athlete. But Cam he's natural at it. When he's focused, he's really good.
Sean, with the experience in your position group, this has to be a lot of fun for you.
Yeah.
You got here at fall camp knowing that it's less introductory and it's more advanced stuff. Have you felt that?
It is, but I'm always keeping those guys uncomfortable. Yesterday, Austin, the leader, didn't finish on the block. So I ran up and yelled at him more than anybody could see, has seen from me all year, in camp. And those other guys felt that. I do have a lot of young guys coming behind that's learning from Austin and those guys. So I got to keep those guys on the edge, and I got to make sure those guys are not get comfortable with what they're doing because it's easy for them, because they know it and they're executing on a high level. And as soon as they slide off, they're going to tell you, I'm going to go get on them just like I do some of the young guys, because the young guys are watching them.
Did that catch Austin by surprise?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. But it was good to see. Good to see his reaction. His reaction was, Coach, I know I got to do better, so.
Hey, Sean, we've heard a lot of good things about Gabe Urban, and I know you know that area he's from so well recruiting-wise. What about him as a recruit popped out in that area?
Well, he's from a great school. Comes from great coaches there. That program is a winning program. And to be honest, I've been watching him for a long time. He's been a player there for a while at that school there. And I have a great relationship with those coaches. And we had the opportunity to get him, and when he decided to come to us, we knew he was going to be a pretty good player for us. Now, he's still got a lot of work to go. Everybody's praising him. I'm not praising him at one iota right now, because I know he's got a lot of work to get done, and he's going to be a good player for us, but he's still got to put in the work.
John, are the quarterbacks getting the ball to your tight ends where they need it?
Yes, they are. They've really, Coach Mario has really got those guys in tune. They're putting the ball right where they need to get it so they can go make plays after the catch. And that's one of the things that we're harping on this year as a tight end group. Once we catch it, we're not going to just settle going down. One of the things that we did last year, once we caught it, we kind of failed, or didn't expect to finish a play. So we're really working on catching it and then getting up the field and go get me 4 or 5 extra yards.
Sean, Coach Ross talked about this a couple of times with being a smaller recruiting class and what type of challenges does that present for the staff, knowing that we only have so many spots?
It is a challenge, but there's a big pool of kids out there, and we have a list of kids, so you just got to recruit them all. And with a small class, we can be a little bit more selective on who we're recruiting. We can do a lot more background. We can take less chances. So I see it as a good thing. If we got less guys, that means we're going to try to focus in on a lot of different character issues, making sure we're not bringing character problems here, and do a better job of technique as far as watching kids more technique-wise, watching more game film on guys, so we can make a better decision on guys as far as the overall talent. So it's kind of scale things down. We still got a big list, but we got our targets of guys that we really want to go to.
Anything else for Coach?
Good. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.